Learning to read seems like it should be well understood by now, right? As a human race, we should all be on the same page about something as foundational as reading, right? Wrong. There are still so many myths out there about literacy, you guys. And here's the biggest one you've probably heard. Reading to your child a lot will teach them to read. Myth. Reading is not a skill that children learn via exposure. And this is really something that's not to be debated, although I'm sure some debate is forthcoming. But this myth has been debunked by research for literal decades. Reading is a learned skill. It requires explicit teaching of that sound to letter code. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but reading to your child a lot will not teach them how to read. Will it improve their vocabulary? Will it improve their listening comprehension skills? Will it increase their background knowledge of a wide variety of topics? Yes, yes, yes. Will it actually teach them how to decode words? Nope, definitely not. If that's the case, where did this myth come from? Well, there are a lot of answers to that question, but one major confusion stems from the difference between how our brains acquire verbal language skills versus how our brains learn to read text. There's like a big difference. Because our brains are hardwired to acquire speaking and listening skills from mere exposure. Babies and toddlers learn to talk. How, my friends? By being talked to. And so kindergartners learn to read. How? All together now. By being read to. It's not a direct parallel. And yes, I know I'll hear from some of you in the comments whose child did seemingly learn to read via osmosis. No direct instruction, just started reading words spontaneously one day. And all you did was read to them. Yes, please, tell me your anecdotes. Listen, I am not calling you a liar. I'm just calling your experience what it is. Anecdotal evidence. Which, while very significant to you, is not the same as statistically significant evidence. There is a small percentage, under 10% of children, who have such strong inherent language skills that they essentially figure out the code to reading on their own. But that's not statistically significant, meaning we can't take those children and generalize their experience to the other 90% of kids who do require explicit instruction. What is required for most people is what informs science-based literacy instruction. Practices that have replicated positive results, not what works 1 out of 100 times. You can get a positive result 1 out of 100 times with all kinds of claims. Eating raisins cures migraines. I'd probably get a positive result at least once out of 100 trials. So, from this SLP to parents, should you read to your kids? Heck yes! Will it teach them to read? Heck no! Okay, maybe if your kid happens to win the literacy lottery. But I wouldn't give up my day job on the hopes of winning the lottery. You might want to go with the odds on this one. But that's just one literacy specialist's opinion.